little boy says to his granddad, he said, will you make a noise like a frog? His granddad said, why? He said, because my dad said, when you croak, we're going to Florida.
Stop someone in the street, find someone that doesn't love Peter Kay.
Police car goes past or something like that. Your dad goes, here he is, I've got him, hey. They've come, fire up, hey. Get off me, Dad, I'm 24, will you?
I watch him constantly because he is just an incredible talent.
So I've got your job. Yeah.
The best and the most popular comedian in Britain. Simple.
What's black and white and he's like a horse? A zebra! The fun starts here!
He's such a natural performer.
We're not messing about now!
Maybe the most natural stand-up performer I've ever seen.
You always get little lads doing this.
People are laughing because everyone relates to that.
Do your neighbours know that you do stand-up?
They do. They've started acknowledging me. Women in leggings that never gave me time of day before I were on telly.
He was just born to be funny.
Can't believe you're Shelley's mother. You look far too young.
Oh, thank you. You can't be looking close enough.
Oh, you're right. The neck. I can see the neck now. That's the giveaway.
He's one of the funniest guys that I've ever seen on TV. He has made so many people laugh and brightened so many people's Christmases.
John Smith of Great Britain, what can he do?
A running bomb.
Oh, terrific. The crowd love it.
10.
And so do the judges. Top bombing.
Little spoonfuls of the essence of Peter Kay right there in an advert.
And it's that self-deprecation, the willingness to just strip himself down to bare bones and go, I'm a fat man.
He's cracked it live, he's cracked it on TV, and he's had 3 #1 hits. How incredible is that?
In this century, Peter Kay so far is by far the biggest comedian entertainer, by a long way.
How does Bob Marley like his donuts? We're jamming! We're jamming! Come on!
The minute the music starts, you're about to see a joke. He takes the pomposity out of it. He makes it real.
The tour that doesn't tour was extraordinary because it made a colossal amount of money. It broke all the records, million+ tickets sold.
It was just this unbelievably huge tour.
15 nights at the O2, 40 nights at the Manchester Arena.
He's a man that thinks big and goes big.
We feel we know him so well because he's very relatable, and a lot of what he talks about is what we've all been through.
I used to have a bath, me, when I was growing up. Once a week on a Sunday night, I'd have a bath with Mr. Matey. He were a widower. He lived 3 doors down. Lovely fella. Oh, Brian Matey. Always laughing. Always had tap end. Salt at her.
So when you're laughing and I'm laughing, you go, what, you too? Did that happen in your house?
Peter Kay was born in July 1973 in Bolton. He grew up in a kind of like a regular terrace street in an area called Double. His grandparents lived nearby.
He's never moved away. He still lives in the area. I mean, he is, if you cut him in half, there would be northern written right through him, you know.
If you're up north, he is the essence of a Boltonian.
I don't think he just remembers where he's from. Why would he ever want to forget where he's from? It's the making of him, really. And that's why people love that comedy so much, because it is so rooted. The language, the characters, it's affectionate.
If you wanted out a bath in our house, you have to put immersion heater on Wednesday, 4 days before. Plan ahead. Put immersion on, having a bath in 4 days. And then if someone had a bath for you, use all your water. Your mum would come up with a kettle, halfway through, boiled kettle, top it up. Move to the end of the bath, move down. It'll splash, it'll burn you, move down. It's not even Irish. Move down.
Peter Kay's mum, Deirdre, is from Northern Ireland. She's really important to his life. They were really close, but I think she's really important to his comedy as well.
She's in tonight, my mum. She sat up there, next to her Royal Highness. or me Nana, as we like to call her. Hello, Nana.
The camera will often cut to his mum in the audience at live gigs, and she looks a bit embarrassed sometimes, but she's secretly loving it.
Hello, Mum.
Just thinking, shut your mouth and get on with it.
She's laughing absolutely from the bottom of her heart.
It's part of why people really love Peter Kay is they feel they know him. And the reason they feel they know him is because he talks about his life.
My dad used to get them standard fireworks. They used to get them and you get them. Standard fireworks in a tin and get it back out. And we always be stood at kitchen window with cagoules on like that. This one's called a volcano. Bucket of sand. Bloody hell,
Peter's dad, Michael, was a factory worker who worked a few streets away from where they lived. He was a funny man as well, and a lot of people say that's where Peter got a lot of his humour from.
Your dad, he'd be at Seaside. Every like a police car goes past or something like that. Your dad goes, "Here he is, I've got him, hey! They've come fire up, hey! Get off me, Dad, I'm 24, will you?" And he hates it wasting sunshine, my dad, on a sunny day. If he caught you watching television at big 6-week holidays, he'd come in on it. "What are you doing?" "Watching Karate Kid." "Never mind the Karate Kid, get that off, get outside. Open these curtains, I think someone's died over at road. What are you doing?"
My parents have all done that. Come on, have a look at this. Come on, have a look at that. Don't watch this, don't watch that.
And then when it rained, he used to make us all stand at front room window and watch. "Deirdre, Julie, Peter, quick, come on, look at this rain. Bloody hell, look at this rain. My God, it's bouncing it down. Look at it, it's biblical. Look at that."
The family was very important to Peter, and it comes across in his material.
Then it started thundering and lightning. My mum would rip Ariel out back at telly. "Sacred Heart of God, rip the Ariel in the back of the television." Never seen end of Karate Kid. Does he win? Won't know.
That was a great gig, because he is brilliant, you know, particularly the school teacher gags, because you know where he's going.
Is that what you're going to be when you grow up, Kay? Comedian? I'll tell you where you're going to end up, Kay. The thick table. Get your stuff. Get on the thick table. We used to have a thick table in our class at school.
Peter Kay was not academic at all.
My mum will tell you, I used to have a set of pens going home, different coloured pens, and I'd stop and if it were an E, I could make it into a B. If it were a C, I could make it into a B by like a love heart on its side. And then I'd go home quick and say, "Mum, look at this, quick."
From when I was about 5 years old, there'd be a report card saying Peter insists on being the clown of the class and making people laugh, and I couldn't help myself.
Do you ever try and blind a teacher with your watch? If you're concentrating. If you all did it, blind a teacher now. Do it now. I know who it is. No, you don't. You can't think. Oh, you don't know who it is.
Come the age of 15, 16, you've forgotten about, like, trying to blind the teacher with your face of your watch on a sunny day. He just remembers these things. It's remarkable.
Teachers with amnesia. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're talking to? How old are you? What do you think you are? Who do you think you're dealing with? Alzheimer's. What chance have they got?
When you're at school, you never give V's like that, did you? When you're at school, you give V's like that.
After school, Peter really didn't know what to do. His mum and dad had split up and his dad had left. So he ended up doing like a series of part-time jobs.
I worked in bingo and I worked in a garage up here. That were a good job. I worked there for 6 years. Very, very funny job. And I got a job across road here at Spa.
I was devastated, and then I got a job at Netto, and I was proper devastated then.
He worked at loads of places for like 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months, never stuck it out.
I could never settle in jobs because I were always, after about 4 months, I'd get sacked. Not for, like, usually because I couldn't do the job, because most of the time, I was spending most of the time
It was like I wasn't there. It was like a lot of managers watching going, you're damn right you weren't there. And you're not there now.
He's a hard-working lad. 14 different part-time jobs.
Pretty much all of which he later used in his material, you know, particularly that Peter Kay thing. Kind of almost each one of them was based on a job he used to do.
I'd always wrote things down that people would say, so if you're at work and managers would say funny things, I'd always write them down, or things that conversations that the public would say. I always made a note of them. And I had all this backlog of, you know, stories and one-liners and things that people had come out with.
He talks about eye level is bi-level, which was a quote from a supervisor.
He used to be obsessed with stacking shelves. You put something on shelves and you go, whoa, 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 put that there. Eye level is bi-level. If they can't see it, they can't buy it.
He's mined that, but deeper than that, his observation is all about normal, ordinary things.
Yeah, hello, love. Wigan's famous for two things, rugby players and beautiful women. What position do you play, Sheila?
Eyes Down, which is set in a bingo hall in Bolton, surprise, surprise. The other surprise, surprise is that, obviously, Peter Kay had worked in a bingo hall in Bolton, and it was probably that one for all I know.
Now at your age, they give me IT to be a caller. Have you no ambition? You know, what do you want to do with your life?
Well, I'm only here for the summer and then I'm back at uni.
Uni? What are you studying there?
Advanced economics, politics and European law.
That's all very well and good, but where's that going to get you?
He plays a bingo hall boss, and really he's playing a character very effectively, very authentically, that is based on one of his old bosses.
Is there a bingo caller out there that
There is, and I can actually say he does exist because he won't be watching down here, which is nice. It's revenge in a way, because I never liked him. He never liked me.
His whole life, from sort of 0 to 20, is really the bedrock of all of his jokes and all of his stories, and we are all the beneficiaries of that.
He went to university, but he didn't do it the traditional way. He lied that he had an art A-level, and incredibly he got accepted into Liverpool John Moores University. I think he realised pretty quickly that he was out of his depth, but bigger than that was the fact that he was away from home.
He didn't have the normal array of qualifications that you would need. However, Peter came with so much natural abilities that I would say there wasn't a lot that you could teach him about the innate relationship with an audience or a persona. So the course was a way of kind of improving skills like microphone technique. The final assessment, which was doing the 15-minute act that you'd spent 10 weeks constructing and rehearsing, all this was to be performed in a public forum, either a pub or a comedy club.
I got a water infection and I went to doctors and I told them that I've got a water infection. What's funny about that? What? What? Have you got a water infection? Have you? Really? It's like fire when it comes out. No, it is. It's nothing to laugh at. It's not. Honest to God, it's not.
Pretty early on in that second year of the H&D, we knew we were dealing with something special.
It went well, it did. It's better than sex. It's better than sex I've had, anyway.
Back in the late 90s, I was hosting a very late night, very cheap, ITV magazine show about comedy. Peter, hello there.
Hey,
nice
Ian.
to meet you.
You've not got a good bit of a grip.
I have been told that
Are you
before.
Catholic?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Did you do Peace Be With You and Shalom and all that?
He'd only just started. I mean, I think he'd done like 3 or 4 gigs. I mean, he'd virtually nothing. And he was very fresh-faced but incredibly confident on camera. Do your neighbours know that you do stand-up?
They do. They've started acknowledging me. Women in leggings that never give me time of day before I were on telly.
I got the impression that, you know, he'd spent all his formative years in his bedroom with records and VHS tapes, and Honestly, the collection was extraordinary.
How long's this programme? An hour and a half?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. We've got Steph Meader, Little Things.
Hello there.
That's Hammond Organ music, that,
It's a bit
apparently.
racy, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, Rise and Fall of Idi Amin.
I didn't know. Would he used to be in a band then?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I've never known anybody so obsessed with popular culture.
I'm very much into comedy. I always studied it and watched a lot of it, and I just... I don't think there's mainstream or there's alternative. I think if something's funny, it's funny. Before we start, I want to tell you, we lost my granddad last night. He's not dead, he's in Netto somewhere.
In his early years, he was breaking through. He got like little bits of TV with Granada TV. He was selling out shows in Manchester. He was a real rising star. The whole time, he still had his part-time job at the cinema, ripping up tickets as people went in to see Cocoon or whatever.
It's important that I keep working at the cinema, I think. I mean, I've never left that. People go, oh, professional, quit the cinema. And I'm like, no, I don't want to quit the cinema because for me, it's real life.
But what stage do you think there'll come a stage where you've got to wait? Because if it's going so well, that you're going to have to concentrate fully on that and...
Well, I don't know, because I've just got an application for multiplex, the building.
I think he had a reticence to give up his part-time jobs because he... I suppose from where he comes from, there isn't any expectation to be famous and wealthy.
Showbiz, you know, 1 minute you're up there making thousands of people laugh, next minute you're picking up toffos. That's like, you know, it's real life, that, you know, reality. $2.59 an hour.
The next time I saw him was he was going up for the So You Think You're Funny, which is a competition in Edinburgh for new acts.
I've never been to Edinburgh.
Very nice.
Well, I have. I went once at school, we went to Isle of Rum and I only stopped off in John Menzies for a twig, but I've never been into it, like, as a place, you know.
So You Think You're Funny is the ultimate nationwide hunt for Britain's best new comedian. There are lots of competitions of that ilk, but So You Think You're Funny is the gold standard, I should know, because I was in the final some decades ago. And it's an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing platform. And in 1997, the winner was Peter Kay.
Why do mums buy crap pop? Is it me? Why does she come home from Quick Saves with 9 litres of cola, some cheap crap cola that only mums buy? I'm not drinking that, it tastes like floor cleaner. Get it drunk. I'm not drinking it, get it drunk. It's crap pop, look at it, it's rotten. Mop my drains out with it, get it drunk. It's crap, look at it, it's too big, it won't go in the fridge. Look at it, no, is it crap, it's warm. That's what it is. It's warm crap pop. Get it drunk. This kid's starving. Send it to him. They wouldn't drink it. It's too big.
He was just head and shoulders above everybody else.
Now, hold on to your hats, because the only thing we can predict about the next few minutes is there's going to be a lot of laughs.
The question we need to ask is, how did you go about conquering the world of comedy from your mum's house in Bolton? Because that's where you still live, isn't it?
It's because it's all I know. You can only write about what you know about, don't you? So that's why...
Some people like grow up to be adults and then they move away from where they live, don't they? But you haven't, have you?
Well, you don't... What? Oh, hey, pretty what you're on tonight. No, why? Oh, happy where I live. I like where I live.
But if the big bright lights of London beckon, would you move?
No.
Never?
Never.
I first came across Peter when he joined The Sunday Show.
Welcome to the new series of The Sunday Show.
And I'd heard whisper of this young local comic who was really good and a really sweet fella.
Bite into the succulent flesh that is the new arrival on this runway of showbiz, and I just know he's going to take off. It's Peter Kay. Fly!
Give me entertainment! Welcome one and Stuart Hall, if he's watching, to my world of entertainment.
Peter had this huge confidence. And even there, you see these first few goes at the Sunday Show, just the first few moments, people don't quite know what they're watching, but it's the confidence he delivers it.
Monkey!
He picked all those things that were in your subconscious that took you back to your youth.
Man or woman, you being a judge. Look at that. We don't know, do we?
You get the feeling Peter Kay could get material out of anything.
Opening time. titles. I love them. I always have and I always will.
You know, this was the opening credits, and he has literally just weaved comedy gold from a couple of minutes of TV that other people would find unremarkable.
It took him a long time to find himself, I think. And he still was clinging on to this being an actor.
Hey, mind my fish.
You're gonna watch that. If that gets stuck down there, you'll soon know about it.
If she hangs around here much longer, box her in.
Once he started in the land of TV, I suppose he was wondering himself, you know, where do I fit in?
Ah, Mr. Elliot, come out here. I want to show you this sign.
And don't touch out.
So I think it was all trial and error for him.
Man said the engine's just had an overhaul. It looked OK to me. He showed me the service history and everything. Man? What man? The man I bought it off.
Did you buy this car?
Oh, the Vivas, these. The classics. And the parts are cheap. You get an exhaust in the scrapyard for £5, and you can get...
You bought a car? You bought a car?
The first time I ever met Peter Kay was back in 1997 when I was working on a channel called Men and Motors.
Peter Kay!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honour. Nay, it's an absolute... Oh! Whoa, this wasn't planned.
The preconceptions I had was that he'd walk in about, yeah, I'm the funny one. Hi, guys, dead confident northern bloke, you know, salt of the earth, all the rest of it. But in reality, he was quite humble, very quiet. And I'd actually say he was shy.
What have you bought with all your cash?
What have I bought?
Have you got it yet?
Yeah. I got a Ford Fiesta at G-Reg. My green old place, it's sitting downstairs in car park.
Aww.
And I got him on my fridge freezer.
That's nice. Always remember your family when you...
Well, yeah, I
Make
live with her.
money.
I have a problem not to, really, you know what I mean?
That's who Peter Kay is. He's the bloke next door from Bolton. He'll come round and, you know, take you to the chippy or the pasty shop.
In 1998, he was back at Edinburgh and he was nominated for a Perrier Award.
Now, the Perrier Awards are the Oscars of the Edinburgh Fringe, and really they're the Oscars of just British live comedy.
Do you want a leaflet? There you are. There you are.
We see all the comedy shows and we have a judging panel and then there's a short list. It's very competitive to get nominated.
What tends to mark somebody out is that very special combination of material with performing ability, and the two coming together is that's the mark of someone who's pretty special.
We stayed in Edinburgh. It was quite a nice flat. There was me, Peter Kay, and a comedian called Phil Nichol. We all shared a place together, and it was nice because Peter became almost like the mother hen.
Hello, Arj Barker. Winner of last year's Perrier newcomer.
People were assuming that, well, probably he might get nominated for the Newcomer Award.
But he was so good that he jumped the newcomer category and went straight from newcomer to go on the main list.
The panel have voted and the shortlist for the Perrier Award has been announced.
And I still remember Peter going to the winners' evening to hear who had won that year.
I've won now because I've got a nomination and that's all I wanted.
Peter was nominated, but Tommy Turner actually won it that year.
Once you've been nominated, you do want to win, but he had a really good perspective on it.
Lola. Yeah, I have had a great Edinburgh. I want to go home now. I miss my mum.
Because Peter did so well, everybody wanted a piece of him almost immediately.
He was at the Edinburgh Festival, but he got offered the chance to be on Big Breakfast for a week. He jumped at it because it was TV.
No matter what success that you have, you want to be on television. That's what your man will understand.
It's Monday, the 10th of August, and I'm Melanie Sykes, and this is...
You're going to get a good hiding. Don't touch... He's on that space hopper. Get off that way. That's not yours. Come on, do you want him at your age? He's 17. That's you, that. You're too soft with a pair of them. You a news army?
When Peter was performing anywhere, it became Peter's show. That week on the Big Breakfast became Peter's show. It is almost like he'd been doing it for years. It was so comfortable and so natural.
Later in short, we've got more from Neil Morrissey, plus classic vital statistics, Cameron Diaz, Lee Evans, and that should be started. Oh, that's my mum, that. That's not funny, that. They're Denise's shoes, then, Mum. She's on the menopause. Mum, take them off. How does Bob Marley like his donuts? We're jamming! We're jamming! I'm not messing about now! Come on!
By the time he's headlining the Comedy Store, he's clearly, you know, come a long way, and you can see his confidence is huge now.
I am Peter Kay. I'm going to be myself, and you're going to love it.
What's black and white and eats like a horse? A zebra! The fun starts here! We're not messing about now!
He came out there and just told two of the corniest jokes you could possibly tell, but it was almost like a joke about the fact he was telling those jokes.
You can't resist when you get in a taxi saying to taxi drivers two things. Have you been busy? What time are you on till? Why? Why'd you do it? Why'd you get in and say it? You can't help yourself. You get in and you sit there and you go... You been busy?
He uses silence really well, I think, in that, and you can hear the audience laughter is kind of building during those because they know what's coming.
What time are you on till? Not bad. Not bad!
Physical comedy, precision, precision. He'd rehearse that, and you could nail it every single time live.
That was his biggest show from that point, and there's a real sense of occasion about it.
This is ace, this, isn't it?
Playing Blackpool Tower, that's incredible.
Give me Mum's face. We're back in Blackpool, Mum, eh? Mentally scarred as a child.
As an entertainer, you know, the home of entertainment was Blackpool.
My Auntie Sandra was a dinner lady. When pink ladies used to get at school, dinner lady. You know the one on the dinner break? Pink women, pink tabards, I love that word. Tabards and pink legs, pink heads, pink hair. Proper pink. We used to go around playground, stop you having any fun. Walk around. Stop that, cut it out, you, quit that, don't do that, put that down.
I mean, the audience just, they adore him, don't they? You can see it on their faces there. They trust him. They're hanging on his every word. What a fantastic position to be in.
Stop that! Stop you playing army. Army. Stop that, you let somebody! I've got a stick for a gun. Who am I hitting with a stick? Oh, they're all in pain now, aren't they, love?
It does give that sense of a kind of hometown hero vibe, and, you know, the people he's talking about in his routines are the people in the audience.
They used to come out if it rained as well. If you were playing out and they'd go mad, they'd have fits, they couldn't believe it, they'd be like, they'd get all hysterical. They'd see them, they'd be stood about 100 yards apart and they could feel it coming, rain. They could feel it coming, they'd be like eyeing each other up and down. They were looking like that, and they could sense it like that. Smell it, they could smell the rain. One big splodge. It's spitting! It's spitting! It's spitting! Everybody in!
How many times have your mum said, don't go out, it's spitting in the rain? In fact, I've got to tell you, even on Saturday, I said to my kids, don't go out, it's spitting in the rain. You know.
Janice Farmer, get the kids, get inside, it's spitting! Get inside, all the playground children, get inside, see yourselves!
It's beautifully well observed, but then he kind of inhabits the role of the dinner lady. He's kind of all panicking and running around.
Can't begin to Saving Private Ryan. Get inside! It's not funny, I'm not laughing, I'm shooting people.
When you're in the live theatre, you just, like, laugh all the way through.
I never felt so understood as when I saw him do live at the top of Blackpool Tower.
Well, thanks for coming tonight. Very nice of you. It's very strange doing a video, but you never know, eh? This time next year I could be back on bins. So do tip me.
He's just done his first stand-up gigs. He now gets this Channel 4 show on his own.
The easiest thing would be to do that half-hour stand-up routine, but what he actually did was something just so much bigger and complex.
I didn't want to do just stand-up. I wanted to do something that was a bit challenging. And stand-up's great, but I don't think it works on television. I think it works better in theatres, you know.
He, at the time, was preoccupied with the docu-soaps that you got on TV, and there'd be documentaries about really dull things. And therefore, this was a send-up of a documentary set at a service station.
It's 8 a.m. and time for day shift roll call. Morning, team. You may or may not have realised that we've got a camera crew in today from Channel 4 in London, and they're here today doing a documentary on our services. Just giving a little bit of an insight into what goes on. So, Alison, are you chewing? Spit it out, please, love, in the bin.
It's a mockumentary. Way before The Office. I mean, it's way ahead of its time, isn't it?
Even the way it's filmed is sort of authentic, sort of docu-soap style. Like, he studied directing, and so it's all kind of wobbly cameras.
Have you forgotten about our little chat we had yesterday? So soon?
It's been my day off.
Pardon?
It's my day off.
You're in today because you're a team player girl and because Adina's phone is sick with a water infection. That's why you're in today.
He's a very convincing woman, isn't he?
I think he really likes the challenge of being other people, and he makes a great woman.
He's worked with these women. He understands these women.
Yeah, it's on Channel 4. Yeah, I know, I can't believe it either.
It's the first thing, really, first proper thing he'd done on telly, and you already knew, OK, here's a guy that we're going to be watching a lot more of.
It's quite a far away from a traditional stand-up, isn't it, your new series? Are you nervous how that's going to go down?
Yeah, I am, really. But I want a house. No, it's... I am. Oh, go on, laugh it up. No, it's...
oh, it's funny.
Oh, what? Come on!
So then there was that Peter Kay thing.
That Peter Kay thing was absolutely fantastic. So 6 episodes, all set in workplaces around Bolton, and he played multiple characters. I think he played something like 15 characters over the course of the shows.
This is mine, personalised number plate. And I know you don't have to be famous to have one, but I think you look like a tosser if you do and you're not.
It's a commentary on how ridiculous working-class people can be if you give them any money.
He's now about to shoot the video for Christmas 2000, the first single from his new album, making himself eligible for the most important annual music race of all, the Christmas #1.
Come on, let's make magic. It's magic time.
Across a series of 6, different scenarios, different setups, you could see his range as a performer and as a writer.
A lot of it sort of was from Peter's life, really, because I know that one of them was set in the MEN, where Peter used to work.
The job, it seems like a doddle to me. You just see concerts for free and get paid for watching them for nothing. You know, it seems like a bit of... But tonight we've got Sister Sledge tonight and Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's super sound of the 70s night. Try saying that with a lisp. And next week we've got Elton John, so I'll have to put my name down for that, like Elton John.
Is the word casual?
What?
Casual.
It is, and you can do it when you like.
It was a great series, absolutely great series.
Were you surprised by the major success of that Peter Kay thing?
Yeah, I am, because I didn't know they were in it. They weren't a major success.
It was good, wasn't it? People
it went down well. Everyone really liked it, and I was pretty chuffed with it, you know. I hope there's another series, because the mum wants the bungalow.
So one episode of that Peter Kay thing was in the club.
The British Working Man's Club, yesterday's dream factory.
Again, it spoofs mockumentaries really well. It's even got a voiceover by Andrew Manuel Sachs, who did a lot of those sort of docu-soapy voiceovers back then.
Feeling the pressure more than most is the club's social secretary, Brian Potter. We caught up with him and the committee as they were debating the entertainment for the children's Christmas party.
What about Nobby Alcock?
No way.
I hear me out. I know he's blue, but he does a smashing sideline in Punch and Judy's for kids.
It's all sort of shrouded in cigarette smoke and sort of conference chairs, and there's something a bit depressing about it. And it's also our first sight of Brian Potter, the impresario of the club, who'd later become the star of Phoenix Nights.
How much? For pasties? They've trebled in price. What's in them, venison?
I know it's dear, it's bloody extortionate.
Off the back of In the Club, of course, Phoenix Nights is born. I mean, I still think that's his seminal work.
The Phoenix Club in Bolton has its grand reopening tonight with chart-topping folk band Half a Shilling and TV's own Roy. It's the way I tell him. Walker will be cutting the ribbon at 7:30.
He's very in tune with delusion. He finds it really funny. People think they're bigger than they are.
You know, and there's Brian Potter, who thinks he's running the Palladium.
It's my girlfriend, Mr. Potter. Tracy. Do you fancy a beer?
No, Tar, no, beer's not my cup of tea. Have a drop of teachers, though.
You know, it's still a young man, though. He's probably in his late 20s, maybe. But he's playing an old man in his 60s.
He's got the squeaky voice and the jowls for it.
Peter, I can hardly recognise you.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it, what they can do these days, I know. It's amazing how they put loads of weight on me and fatted me up for that, you know. Can't tell with them chins, you know, it's incredible what they can do these days.
Amazing.
What is she?
Who?
Holy Mary.
Oh, Holy Mary. Well, I think she's very well observed in the writing, because a lot of these clubs are attached to Catholic churches.
What are all these about?
Well, you said banners.
I said, don't wind me up, not today. Get them down.
What, here?
Make it right, see the light. Pop them or sling them or something. It's a club, not a mosque.
Oh, Brian, they're not doing any harm.
Tell that to Cat Stevens. We'll be serving only tonic water next.
God loves you, Brian.
Does he? It's a funny way of showing it.
I took so much helium in because you have to do so many takes for one reason or another. And I actually Googled it afterwards, and there is such a thing as helium poisoning.
Listen, Beverly, I'm not very good with words. I was wondering if...
And there's that sequence where he goes up the stairs. It's excruciating, but so funny because it takes so long.
Won't be long now.
You have to wait as a chair comes round with the sound effects.
Just you wait. Things I'm going to do to you.
Absolute genius, absolute genius.
He's brilliant at recycling ideas or spinning off from ideas.
In the Club, which was one of the episodes of the Peter Kay thing, it became Phoenix Nights.
And then within Phoenix Nights, there were these two characters called Max and Paddy who were doormen.
Evening, girls. Want to have a look into my crystal balls?
Who then got sort of taken out of that, and that became Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere.
Call me old-fashioned, but what I like is white, tender, off the bone, chicken. What's yours?
Co!
You are?
Co!
Peter and the lovely Paddy McGuinness were at school together, knew each other really well. So there was an incredible charisma between those two characters.
They had this natural chemistry, so they could play off each other, ad-lib, and you can just see the chemistry there.
I'm just going to show you a few simple dance moves, that's all.
You're going to show me how to dance?
Yes.
This I've got to see.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
That's just line dancing, so anybody could do that.
Is it?
Where did you learn that?
On the streets. Look and learn, Flower. Look and learn.
I think he could just like immediately transport back to being a school kid, basically, and have that sort of like humour with one another, that piss-taking thing, and it just becomes completely natural.
The chemistry together is undeniable.
Is this really necessary?
Yes, it is. Women love a bit of bump and grind, trust me.
And I remember being in the first episode, and every now and again we'd look over and we'd just see these two men dancing together.
That's right, you want me, I'm a woman. I'm a woman and you want me.
And it worked, it worked.
Do you know what makes a great comedian? Is if you're funny, that's all well and good to be funny, but you know what you have to have? You have to have compassion, and you have to be able to play pathos.
He doesn't just do the comedy, he treats the serious bits like drama.
Anyway, I saw her up against Bar, nearly threw her out for underage drinking.
Hey! You shouldn't... Oh, I do apologise, I'm sorry. I thought you were underage and you shouldn't be in here.
He could have easily cast someone small and just have it as that.
She was a kind of midget.
Isn't that a Queen song?
But what he did was included some really, really touching scenes.
There's no way you could have loved me like I loved you. Not go off the way you did, saying nothing.
Love you? I trusted you.
Yeah, right.
I worshipped you. I even had your baby, for Christ's sake. That's how much I loved you.
When we were doing those scenes, we were essentially doing it like an episode, a drama, not a comedy.
Are you telling me I'm a dad?
I never wanted you to find out.
Oh, I can see that.
I think he's a very talented actor. So that includes him being funny and him being more serious.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bolton Albert Hall. Would you please welcome on stage in his hometown, Peter Kay!
He doesn't like touring. He doesn't like being away from home, being away from his family. So he kind of almost makes the audience come to him, which is, you know, a measure of what a big draw he is.
Peter Kay is the best person on the planet for naming tours. Obviously, Mum Wants a Bungalow. Absolutely genius.
You know, it's honest, isn't it?
I bet she got one as well. She put me at a very nice bungalow.
It's almost like he's doing it in his front room. Those people know him, don't they?
Rather than an audience made up of the glitterati of showbiz and sort of well-heeled middle-class people, he had his core audience.
And there's this whole sort of familiarity and this whole sort of camaraderie and communal atmosphere.
Knock, knock! Biggish! Not today, thanks. You see? That's a joke, huh?
They feel like he's one of them, and so there's a real kind of crackling warmth in the arena.
What, did you get a ticket? You were ringing up saying you couldn't get any. How did you get one? Probably my mum. Anyone who brush passes who gets a ticket these days.
What's amazing is that, yes, he can entertain teenagers and young people and 20-somethings, but he can also entertain Granny and Grandad, and everyone's laughing.
How much is Pick and Mix now at cinemas? Eh? Bloody scandalous, isn't it? I went to Pick and Mix. I said, you're all right now, knock yourself to Pick and Mix, I'll get these. Whoa, 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 fudge? Fudge? Feel the weight of them before you put them in, eh? Flumps, marshmallows, that's what you want.
He's got a lot of nostalgia, I think, in his act. Very much family-orientated, very sort of clean, I would say.
I think a lot of comedians use swearing as a bit of a defence mechanism, particularly if they're not going down very well. And Peter always goes down well, so he's never going to have to swear, is he?
Our answer machine message at home says, please leave your name and number after the beep. Come on. Beep. Hello, my name is Mum. And my number... Why, you're not going to know your own mum?
His ability to do jokes about parents or grandparents or youngsters at weddings, and it's really that ability to bring a family together to laugh at each other or to laugh with each other.
Beginning of any family wedding, I guarantee you get little girls up dancing, about 10, 11-year-old, little dancers, you know, work just a little.
It's really clever, you know, the details are really smart, like the way the kids are dancing to Liberty X, quite a rude song, but quite an appropriate song, which is just a tiny, fleeting detail that you wouldn't really notice.
You always get little lads doing this.
He's brilliant at that physicality of things. He really uses the stage. A lot of stand-ups just stand still, but Peter kind of makes something happen because he's got that broader interest in theatricality, I think.
It's the gusto with which he performs it carries you away, you know.
What he did do, and I don't know if this was by intention, but created a whole new vernacular for comedy that tied us in to the Peter Kay world.
One of the phrases that I always think of with Peter Kay, which is ridiculous, really, because it's not even a phrase, it's 2 words.
Garlic bread?
Garlic bread?
Garlic bread? Garlic bread? You're joking. Garlic? Bread? Garlic bread? Garlic bread. That's right, Max. Garlic bread. It's the future. I've tasted it. Hey, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a taste sensation.
It touched the public consciousness so much that there were people going around wearing garlic bread T-shirts.
Who would have thought that food would be a catchphrase?
Well, one of the most popular ones you had, isn't it?
It wasn't even a catchphrase, it's a food.
Yeah.
Garlic bread. And I couldn't get it in Morrison's the other week. And my wife were outside at car with children in our ages. She said, why were you so long? I said, I couldn't find garlic bread and I couldn't ask for it. Because I was mortified to say, where's the garlic bread? Because they all would have said... Garlic bread!
It's worth remembering, before Peter Kay exploded into the public consciousness, that expressions like "avit," "tinternet," "garlic bread," you know, these all came with Peter Kay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the last night of the tour. Please welcome Peter Kay!
So the Mum Wants a Bungalow tour starts off fairly small and then mutates into this rolling beast marauding through the northern states, ends up with 2 nights at Manchester Arena.
Imagine you're a steward. You live in Bolton and you trek over to Manchester Arena to be a steward for £4 an hour. And then you stand there dreaming as you look at the stage, you think, one day I'm going to be up there. That's what he did. 9,000 people. Hello! It's just generous and lets everybody in. They just get him. They get him, and he gets them. And the warmth, I think, and the feedback he must get on stage must be incredible.
Hello, Manchester. Good evening.
Just a brilliant opening. It looks very casual, but very well worked out.
Well, another night. Another night.
You come off stage and you're just bursting with adrenaline. And, you know, for me, I go home. I always have done.
The thing about touring is that it's sort of quite lonely, actually. And it's much nicer to go home.
He's a homebody. It's not for everyone, is it? The touring and the travelling the world life.
I don't like to sit backstage and have people come back. I don't like to carry on having a party or do that. It's important to me that I get home and I get grounded, and then I'll get home, I'll have a shower and I'll be sat watching telly and I'll kind of go, were I just doing that about an hour ago on stage? But I need to do it to separate myself, because I think, I don't know, I'm frightened. I think it can drive you insane.
There's a mystery about Peter Kay. I mean, there'll be an extraordinary nationwide stand-up tour that breaks every record, and then he'll go into more or less creative hiding for years on end.
He's kept his privacy really cleverly well guarded. For someone that famous, for you to know so little about their life is really unusual.
He is a contradiction. We feel we know him. In a sense, he belongs to us. He's a national treasure. But then he's a stranger as well, and we don't know the guy at all.
He's that private that we don't even know how many kids he's got. We know he's got them, but we don't know how many.
Somewhere between 1 and 3. It's either 1, 2 or 3 children, and you don't know. You know, that information's out there about pretty much everyone.
He's very private. He has his work, and he goes home, and he loves his family.
I have to ask him what you got to for Christmas.
Nothing, staying at home with family.
It's a bit boring.
Sorry, that's what I'm doing. That's actually the nicest thing in the world, I think you'll find.
I don't think Peter is happier than when he's with his family and his friends. I think that is very, very important to him.
You know, showbiz, it's all bollocks. I'll tell you that now. It's nice for 2%, but 98% of the time, you've got to be sane, you've got to go back, and friends and family are everything.
Some of us want the big car, the big house, and the showbiz lifestyle. But that, to him, is very, very... I think for him, it's very, very empty, and it doesn't really resonate.
I think that anybody who is northern and working class and about that age, if they were asked to do Corrie, they'd go tomorrow.
It means, you know, you've hit the big time.
Good evening.
Eric, you look like a different bloke.
Thank you. And you look stunning.
I think it was extremely important for Peter to get a good part in Corrie because, again, that's part of our cultural heritage growing up round there.
It's a little bit of a cameo in a really famous thing, isn't it? And a chance to be funny.
I can't believe you're Shelley's mother. You look far too young.
Oh, thank you. You can't be looking close enough.
Oh, you're right. The neck. I can see the neck now. That's the giveaway.
He brought a lot of comedy to it, and so I think he fitted in very easily with that. And I think it's a natural thing for Peter to be an actor. He's a very good actor.
Oh, Pie, you don't get much, do you? You don't get much.
It's very well presented, though.
Aye, so's Blue Peter.
I love that character. To go in and sum up how so many people feel in a posh restaurant, it's just wonderful.
Look, I've got leaves. Leaves on my plate, leaves. Chef's left back door open. Must have blown on. Leaves. Look at this.
What are you looking for?
Me meat. I need a magnifying glass. Where's he gone?
Being funny on a soap is really quite hard. I think comedy takes a little bit more time, weirdly, than it does for drama.
Eric, is that you?
Who's that?
It's my mum. Hiya, Mum. I thought you were at Jazzercise.
It got cancelled. Marley's got groin strain.
I played Dolly Gartside, the mother of Eric Gartside.
Eric's not brought a friend home in... No, he's never brought a friend home.
I have. She forgets. She forgets.
You are? Stick kettle on. I'm up now.
Yeah.
I saw that kind of sadness in all the characters that I think that Peter plays, really. This sort of lost character. When his mum says, well, he's never brought a friend home, I think he's lost.
I think I better order a taxi. Could I use your phone?
It's in the hall. Just put the money in the box.
Come on, Mum. Time to go.
Go where?
The old people's home. They'll look after you now.
What a treat, the John Smith's bitter adverts.
It's him being canny and just really funny.
Little spoonfuls of the essence of Peter Kay right there in an advert.
It's for the best.
Are you mad? I'm 55.
I know, but I've had a word with them. They'll take you. Come on.
Get off. Why should I go live in an old people's home?
Because I want to put a snooker table in your bedroom and the kids are frightened of your moustache. Now, come on. Avanti.
I remember at the time, people were, excited and waiting for the next one to come out because they were that good.
That was better telly than the telly you were watching, if you know what I mean.
They were brilliantly acted, fantastically written, and they became a hit. So good.
Right, we're on here. Hello? Sarah?
It's babysitter.
Yeah.
What's up?
OK, put her on. Hello, Brittany. It's Daddy. You what? She's having nightmares. About the wardrobe monsters.
I really loved the one in the curry house. I could almost smell the curry. I always could see which curry house it was.
They were well crafted, a bit like mini versions of his own sitcom.
There's no such thing as wardrobe monsters. It's the burglars that breaking through the window. That's what you want to be worried about. Sweet dreams. She's gone. 2 more lambooners here. What?
It's like being down the curry house with your mate who says something silly and you're all looking at each other going, did he just say that?
3 divers to go then, and this is Darren Kroll of Australia. Oh, that's a good dive.
And everyone, of course, particularly remembers the diving board.
And now Petit of Canada.
Forward 3.5 somersaults and pike.
Oh, even better. This final really hotting up. Now the favourite, John Smith of Great Britain. What can he do?
A running bomb.
Oh, terrific. The crowd love it.
10.
And so do the judges. Top bombing.
Having got scored perfect turns with his bum crack showing, it's just perfect.
And it's that self-deprecation, the willingness to just strip himself down to the bare bones and go, I'm a fat man.
He's the sort of guy that other people would laugh at, but he's happy to do it. There's another one where he's supposed to be showing off some football skills.
Have it. Oh, yes.
But that became a saying, didn't it? It became a saying, have it, have it.
Have it.
Apparently it wasn't in the script, but, you know, they're not daft, they kept that in.
It's a northern beer. And he loves being northern. He's proud of it. And he's never strayed from his roots. So what perfect casting.
Peter Kay achieved something miraculous, which is an advert actually boosted his career.
It didn't feel like he'd sold out at all. No, it just felt like he was just being Peter Kay in a different setting. It was great.
He's made probably a colossal fortune, and then he's more famous and more popular. I mean, talk about the Midas touch.
I hear that you're not going to do any more of those wonderful John Smith ads.
No, I'm not. No, I've decided I'm not going to do any more. I've done them and they were good, and I thought it'd be nice to, you know, do some more adverts.
So how ironic it's for John Smith's bitter and he doesn't even drink.
It's a blessing because you can always drive home from everywhere. It's a curse because everyone wants a bloody lift. You know what I mean? Especially on New Year's Eve when it's triple fur. Like, can you get another one in? We're full, we're all right. One more. And then you drop them off, and when they're drunk, and you ever dropped anyone off and they're drunk? And I had Susan's cousin in back going, where's it? Straight on. Straight on. Fucking out, straight on. Is it left or right? Straight on. We're going to have to stop now, Michelle, because we're in Hull.
Wasn't it good? Wasn't he fine? Isn't it madness? He can't be mine.
I've had 3 number 1s and I've not sang on one of them yet. I've not sang on one song. I'm always in character.
Peter Kay, he's a great artist, but he doesn't mind a bit of naff comedy either. And the best example of that is the comic relief video, Is This the Way to Amarillo?
When he was a kid, his family only had about 6 albums, and one of them was Tony Christie's Greatest Hits. So it meant a lot to him, that song.
Tony Christie, really looking like he's on a beach there. Look at him.
When the day is dawning.
It was such a big record. The point was, it was never a hit first time. And that's the sort of knowledge that Peter has. That it was a massive record at the time, but wasn't a hit.
How I long to be there with Marie.
So, you know, the upshot is it gets to #1, and it's there for about 6 weeks or something ridiculous, you know.
Every lonely city where I hang my hat ain't as half as pretty as where my...
So they're all walking down the corridor and they've got all these incredible stars coming out. He can get anybody that he wants to come and join in.
Bez from the Happy Mondays. I mean, how random is that? Ronnie Corbett and Michael Parkinson. I mean, it's just literally a sort of freakish A to Z of British entertainment.
We did it on treadmills. We had to walk on treadmills, right? And Ronnie fell. Right. I like a laugh, but hang on. And he fell. And now, there's two ways you can watch this. You can either watch Ronnie falling, but if you're lucky, watch Michael's reaction. That's my favourite, because he goes... He's like
Ronnie Corbett falling off a treadmill. It's brilliant.
It was a hit single. The video became iconic. And what it did is it captured that sort of Peter Kay vibe, which is ironic, cheery, ebullient, upbeat. It was just the ultimate feel-good pop video.
So one day, I'm sitting at home and the phone rings. And I go, hello, who's that? And he goes, hello, Bobby Davro. I went, who's this? He went, Peter Kay. I said, Peter Kay, I don't know, Peter. Who's this winding me up? He said, no, it's Peter Kay. I've got your number from someone. You know, and he told me it was. He said, I'm phoning you up. We're doing video down at Elstree Saturday. Will you come down?
Well, when Peter makes a call, you say yes.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you.
Yeah, well, so we turned up on a Saturday, and there's people, I think there was Dennis Taylor was there, and the Crankies, and everything, Will and his wife were there, you know.
I also thought if you'd done a quiz at the end, how many famous people from television had you seen, how many you would actually get to. I mean, it's got everybody in there. Everybody. Just can't describe how bizarre it all is, you know. We didn't see what they were going to do before they started it. So they did their rehearsals without us. So then they go, and it's pretty well live. So that's as much of a surprise to us as it is to the viewer at home. So they're genuine reactions, you know.
I had absolutely no idea that was going to happen. And everywhere I went, you know, for that time it was on the telly there and being shown video, everyone was going, Bobby Davro, Bobby Davro. And I was absolutely thrilled.
It's one of those songs, everybody knows it. And it's like, if you put that on as a DJ, everybody did the whole Scottish accent and the whole, you know, it's like... And I guess that's why he picked it. And it's brilliant. And to get the Proclaimers to take the mickey out of themselves is even better, isn't it?
The big question, do you love reality television shows or hate them? This weekend, a brand new show hits our screens. It is the brainchild of the one and only...
Brainchild!
Peter Kay!
It has the wonderful title, Britain's Got the Pop Factor
and possibly a new celebrity Jesus Christ soap star, superstar, Strictly on Ice.
Booyah.
Welcome back to Britain's Got the Pop Factor and possibly a new celebrity Jesus Christ soap star, superstar, Strictly on Ice live final!
Bit of a spoof on reality shows, is it?
I just thought it's so popular and they've become so much a part of our lives. It just seemed perfect to send up the whole genre of it, and I just wrote it, and I thought it'd be quite easy, but it has been enormous. It's been the biggest thing I've ever done.
He really went to town on it and did it properly and got all the right people involved.
This is going to be the toughest night of their lives, and only one of them can win.
Only one of them can win this, and it's going to be tough.
Only one of them is tough, and that's going to have to be the winner.
One day I got a call, and he sort of said he got this idea for this film. And then he said, we'll have a meeting. So we went to a fish and chip shop in Rothenstall, right? And I think, this is a true story, he'd booked the whole restaurant out, so him and I, in a fish and chip shop. I think it was a Sunday night, if I remember, but there was nobody else in this fish and chip restaurant. We had these clandestine meetings so that nobody knew what was going on. It was very interesting and, of course, always very funny.
So what's your name, honey?
No, it's Geraldine.
It says here you're from Tyrone Island. Why didn't you come and see us in Belfast?
I've just had a major operation. Just got back on my feet, still a bit tender. Never had the balls. I wouldn't say that.
The whole production will be incredibly detailed, and he'll get really famous people involved in it. When he does stuff, he goes all in.
It's the final of all finals. Will you finally welcome your host for the final time, Cat Deeley?
There was no difference between Pop Idol production and the Pop Factor. There was no difference. It was the same size. It was the same sets. It was the same amount of cameramen.
To parody something, you have to know about. You have to know about it. And he, you know, docusoaps he did. Then he moves on to TV talent shows.
He doesn't cheapen it. He's not trying to make a cheap version so it looks nasty. He's trying to make a real version.
Again, he's both celebrating the culture and having fun with it.
You've got a fantastic voice, but a ditcher. One of the things he didn't tell us was he didn't tell us which were real acts and which were his fake acts.
It'll be real kids on the night.
There were three most senior ladies came on as the Sugar Babes.
You ready for me, boy? You gotta push the button and let me know.
They started to grip themselves in places and be quite erotic.
Before I get the wrong idea and go, you're gonna miss the freak that...
Didn't give us a script, so he wanted us to take everything in as we would have done naturally.
You're not what we're looking for, but thank you.
Now listen, bitch.
Excuse
You've got
me?
200 years of pure talent. You wouldn't know so talent of it, but you ass off.
So we do the scene. There's one lady who gets her lines wrong.
Okay, no.
But then, of course, Peter was behind the scenes. So he sends these three ladies back out.
All of you have a go. All of you have a go. 1, 2, 3.
Who are supposed to then have a go at the judges, you see.
All these women have got to say, yeah. That's the line.
So we did it about 5 times. It just got sillier and sillier. At this point, I can't stop laughing.
Are you all right with the lines?
They're filming, they think this is funny.
Right. Here we go.
I was actually choking.
We nearly, and I'm not being melodramatic, nearly killed Pete Waterman on this. He nearly has a proper full-on heart attack.
Everybody in the room was absolutely just with tears rolling, because it just was so surreal and so silly.
It's Ireland's answer to Enya, the one and only Geraldine.
I mean, Geraldine, it's real. It's not camp. It's not over the top. It's you just accept him as Geraldine, and he nails it.
Look, she's lovely. Happy.
Me in a wig. Well, I'll tell you, I had to get waxed.
And your frock.
I had to get waxed.
Your
That's no
frock's
picnic.
Pretty.
The great thing about Peter Kay is he has this ability to be a comedian, but actually put sincerity in it.
One night in Bangkok, try 3 months. Fiona, I've never known pain-legged. I owe everything to Dr. Fong Mi Wow. He certainly knew his onions. Now he's got mine.
It was funny because he does that Northern Irish accent so well, you know, and he really gets into it. I mean, he plays the part quite brilliantly.
Baby, we were born free, and life is worth living.
He's not afraid of a bit of corny comedy, a bit of naff music.
The music was put together brilliant. That's Peter. I mean, his knowledge of music is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal.
I can now officially tell you that the name of tonight's winning act is... Geraldine!
I do recall some of the criticism was that people couldn't find the purple button on their remote to vote. I mean, and that is the highest praise of satire, really, when people don't know if it's real or not.
Here with the winner song, it's your winner. It's Geraldine McQueen.
I started with nothing. Now I have something. I prove them all.
The attention to detail is you go to Gary Barlow to write the winner. He was on, you know, X Factor, and it brings the authenticity back in.
Been waiting to sing for so long. My winner song.
You don't know where reality starts and, you know, the end is a joke. You just can't tell, and that's what's brilliant about that series.
Geraldine McQueen.
I think as a guest on Loose Women, Peter Kay definitely chose Geraldine as his character for all the right reasons.
You look quite angelic next, so I have to say.
I do. You look a bit like Edward Scissorhands. I must admit to it. I wondered what was going on. I noticed they tamed your bush after part 1.
I think that was definitely a licence to play around with the girls on the panel and not get slapped around the head for it.
I don't know if you've heard, but you know the comedian Peter Kay?
It's not. I don't find him funny. Do you know? He doesn't make me laugh.
So when it comes to Peter being a guest on a chat show, you know, he has to pull another discipline out of the bag, which is just being him and sitting there as himself. And I think he's probably a little bit too shy for that, or would rather not. He'd choose not to.
It's easier to not talk about your private life when you're not yourself. So to play a role, it's more like doing a show, isn't it? It's more like doing a stand-up gig.
I think it's a lot about just sitting back and letting him go for it.
What's your relationship with your mother?
We had a very difficult relationship, but we've got over it now because she's died.
When you're as good as Peter, you can do what you want. So you can launch a tour called The Tour That Doesn't Tour.
He sold 1.2 million tickets for that tour, which is a sort of Guinness record.
Which just shows the power of the guy, the fame, the success.
The comedians have become the new rock stars. That was Peter Kay. He gets you within the first minute. It's like, I want you to laugh, and I'm going to make sure you laugh from minute 1.
Does this kind of big overblown build-up where things go deliberately wrong.
What a cock-up! My lift got stuck. Supposed to be doing DVD tonight. What a balls up.
He takes the pomposity out of it. He makes it real. It's like, look at all this, you know. We're here for a joke. Let's get on with the jokes now.
15 nights in this place. Look at the bloody size of it.
You see how vast it is? It's like he's playing to a football pitch. It's extraordinarily large.
Let's have a look at you. Let me borrow that camera. Let's see who we've got in tonight.
He really cleverly kind of makes it feel intimate, even though it's kind of cavernous.
Here we go. Come on. Who have we got in tonight? Here we go. What have we got up here?
Then he'll come on with a video camera and photograph the audience and comment on it. It was a way of quite cleverly engaging with people on a very one-to-one basis.
Who's that? Have you come with your mum? Have you come with your mum there?
When you're in the audience, what you're looking at is a dot and a big screen. He knows how to use that, and he's still a dot to quite a lot of people. But he has a way of going, oh, and you over there, and talking to them.
It's a kind of at-ease device, because you feel comfortable that actually it's not you on stage, it's the poor bloke in the front row.
Christ, who's that? Bill Oddie's in, there you go. All right, Bill. Anyone else?
The person is thrilled. They're not embarrassed. They're going, oh, it's me. You know, and occasionally you can see people standing up to go, me, put the camera on me.
What about over here? Who we got back? Oh! He loves it, that fella. Look at him. He's out of his mind. Look at them teeth. Mother of God. Sugar.
That is, in that kind of size space, to keep the comedy personal, really hard to do, quite brilliant.
Thanks for coming tonight. Always helps having an audience. Thanks for buying a ticket tonight. Technically, you are my employers tonight. What do you think about that?
And then just launches into kind of this brilliant routine about phoning in sick. And again, which kind of just reminds you of his roots and that he's a man of the people.
You can't throw a sickie in this game. It's not when you're self-employed. It's not like when I worked at Cash and Carry. I can't get Raheem off Fruit and Veg, come and tell some jokes for 20 minutes.
He's such a natural performer. I think maybe the most natural stand-up performer I've ever seen. He's just got an effortless ease on stage.
That used to be a skill, that, doing your sick voice. You used to have to get psyched up and bend over it all, holding onto the wall, squint your eyes. Don't get out, don't you make me laugh, don't, ringing up work stick, don't, stare at the, don't make me laugh, don't.
He just finds these little avenues of nostalgia, and he just drills them ruthlessly till everyone's laughing at the absurdity of it.
And the way that, you know, they turn to their friend to go, oh, yes, that's just what we do. Oh, do you remember that? That's the magic of it all.
You can either ring up at 6 o'clock in the morning and tell cleaner, tell manager you weren't coming in.
Oh, can you put me through to the manager, please? I'm Peter Kay. No, it don't sound like me, it does. I'm really poorly.
He has that wonderful ability to be able to be liked by everybody, and that's the most important thing. You know, an artist is only as good as his audience.
So you get home with all your shopping, all your chocolate treats on a Friday. Can't shut cupboard door for jam wagon wheels. Start Monday. I'll start Monday. There's no point trying to start Friday. Come to something with a kind of a bit of bloody chocolate on a Friday night and treat myself. I'll start Monday. Problem is, there's 52 Mondays in a year. I say that every week.
People are laughing because everyone relates to that. Everyone relates to, like, going on a diet and then putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
It's so simple, but you could see the audience. They were following every word and waiting for the punchline.
You know what I hate, me? When you see a tin of Celebrations outside and then you open it and it's a sewing kit. That's all. Oh! Don't that mess with your mind now? What's all that about?
Whilst we're enjoying this incredibly accomplished performance, what's happened underneath is an amazing amount of hard work and brilliant writing.
So do you think this car share thingy's going to work?
Not if you have to listen to this every day.
Car Share is a TV series based on what feels or would be on a piece of paper, like the slightest of premises.
I love Forever FM. They play timeless hits now and forever.
I won't say Martika's Kitchen was timeless.
Well, you remembered it.
Two people work in a company, they have a car-sharing scheme, and they just talk. And they talk about very ordinary things.
Janine's a strict vegan. Elsie's meat mad. Farts stink. She's been doing red days on Slimming World for years now.
Slimming World? See the size of her?
She's got a problem with her glands.
A problem with her hands. Can't stop picking up quiche and shoving it into her fat mouth.
It's wittering on. It's people just passing the time of day and, you know, slagging off their co-workers.
Such a simple format. It's almost like the most special TV ever and the most memorable from the simple things.
Try this one. Kipper tie. Kipper tie?
Kipper tie.
There's like cup of tea in a Birmingham accent.
Kipper tie. I'd like a nice cup of tea, please. I'd like a nice cup of tea.
Car Share is pretty much a double-hander between Peter Kay and Shah Gibson.
Are you going to ask for a new pudding?
Well, I want to keep my parking space.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, if you're going to be sharing with someone else.
Me? No, I'm happy sharing with you.
All right. Yeah.
Their chemistry is brilliant and natural, and quite a lot of it's kind of semi-improvised, you can tell.
Hang on a minute. You lost your virginity on a mechanical bolt? What speed rail?
Fast enough.
They've had a relationship for 20 years, like they met at college, and so, you know, he's clearly a kind of someone he trusts and a kind of long-term friend and collaborator.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's a buckaroo.
A buckaroo?
I'm just talking silly. Don't mean it.
Bloody hope it weren't a buckaroo. But we didn't give it to a jumble after that. Couple of buckets missing.
She was working in a call centre when he phoned her up to see if she'd be in this thing with him, and it's kind of made a star out of her because she's so good at it. You know, she's almost better than him.
He could have chosen anyone, I guess, from the world of acting, but he's chosen somebody that you can tell he trusts and you can tell that he has a lovely relationship with.
Can't seem to get your attention no matter how I try.
I just want you to prefer me to the other guy.
I didn't know you could.
But it's a lovely thing, isn't it, when they sing together? It's such a beautiful thing.
It's just the way that they embrace sort of that moment together, and they genuinely are really enjoying the music.
It's not the really obvious sort of 80s hits, but it's kind of ones that are just, you might have half forgotten. Then the minute they kick in, you can kind of still sing the chorus, which is really clever because, you know, your delight at hearing those songs kind of matches theirs, and it means that, you know, you feel like part of the experience.
I could have taken one step further and I would have been there. He's gonna turn around and hit me and I wouldn't have cared. All this time I didn't get anywhere.
He's always loved music. He's always loved any excuse to sing. And that's the strength of Karshay. He takes a very, very simple idea and he made it so watchable.
And it's a fantastic device, of course, for moments of tension and moments of exhilaration, to be able to just knock a tune out on in the car.
Oh, this is a song, this.
I love this.
Yeah, classic. This is what you want when you're driving home. Red light.
You can see that there's a connection with the characters in that car. It's in abundance, the love that they have for each other, and it's just underground. It's only at the end that you actually realise, or they realise, that actually there's more to them than just a friendship.
Can't hold out, what a voice, much longer.
Me?
No, Billy Ocean. You took my heart and turned me on, and now the danger sign is on. I got me on a bowling chain, doing things that I don't.
As the episodes go on, it's just obvious that the pair of them should be starting off from the same house.
You're kind of willing them to get together, and there's all these lovely little sweet romantic moments between them.
Girl, with you beside me, hold on, never got the red light, feel the red light, what you
The kind of will they, won't they. I mean, it's a classic trope for comedy, isn't it?
John's a bit of a doofus, you know. John's sort of emotionally inept and can't quite work out that Katie's in love with him.
Oh, me too. Oh, I love this. I love it.
What?
This, us driving, singing.
I love it too.
That scene, for me, is one of the best written and best performed pieces of television I've ever watched.
And the BAFTA goes to Peter Kay.
It's heavy, isn't it? Hey. You what, love?
He must be one of the most awarded comedians that there are. He said everything. And you don't get that unless you're as special as he really is.
Thanks.
Would you welcome, please, Peter Kay?
Peter Kay on chat shows, that's a whole nother chapter.
I brought a bag of treats, didn't I? Because it was your last show. I thought, I thought we'd be having a laugh. Good. I've got party arts here. Stick one of them on. It's the last show. I'll tell you what I've got. Games. I've got Kaplunk, Buckaroo, Twister, got Twister.
Always with Peter, it's that kind of quite old school showbiz thing. We live now in a culture where it's about being honest, show weakness, show your vulnerability, the whole that whole thing. But Peter's more like a bit more bluster.
No, you're hanging it up. You've got to keep active. You know what I mean? I don't want you going stiff. You've got to keep going. And I've got you. Here, you'll love this. Stand up, stand up.
Oh, God.
Come on, I've got you this. I've got your job. Here. Put that on fire. There you go.
I like the anarchy that he brings to it.
He's not your normal guest, is he? He will do that. It's almost like, Rod Hull and Emu sort of thing.
20 minutes at morning. It's a primary school. It's a primary school. Yeah. 20 minutes at morning and 20 minutes at night. That'll be you. Go on. Oh!
You had to feel for Michael Parkinson or any of his other victims.
Yes, that's right. It's Peter Kay.
I've never seen anybody from these shores that has disrupted a chat show in such a devilishly funny way.
I've not been on this new set.
Well, have you not been on here?
No.
Oh, no, you see, that's not going to happen. No, because that's a health and safety issue.
I think if you're Jonathan Ross in that situation, you're probably terrified, and there's a huge part of you thinking, this is absolutely brilliant.
No, you're going to hurt yourself. No, don't, no, honestly, no. This is gonna end badly.
Is it, Al?
No.
It's just plastic.
No, don't do that.
He completely hijacks the interview, basically, as he often does on chat shows, because I think, partly out of privacy and partly because he likes to sort of take control of the situation.
I'm going to do what I want. If I want to walk over there, I'm going to walk over there. The camera will follow me. Obviously, it's not Peter. It's Peter being incredibly entertaining, but he's not telling you how he's feeling, or does he get nervous before he goes on stage, or what? Do you know what I mean? The classic thing that often people want to know about.
You've all lined up there.
Yeah, never mind.
What's this?
Never mind that. I like to
still live in Bolton, road trip down to London. That never got asked.
Well, I'm going to ask you that next.
What's that? There's nothing on there about nipples.
No. I was just wondering whether you ever played a little joke on people.
I'll tell you what, Parky, I'd write his questions for him and he'd stick to them.
Whilst he makes it into this kind of very funny little experience, he says absolutely nothing about his own life, which is quite clever.
I think he does that to kind of as a disarming tactic. Like, one, to take things away from having to talk about himself, which he hates. Two, because it's funny.
You did your own tour yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
He's a showman. He's a complete showman. So he doesn't want to tell you about his life necessarily. He just wants to be really funny and go home.
He wants to give them that bravado, that flourish, and he doesn't want to disappoint an audience.
Even when he's on Parkinson, he's basically doing his stand-up a lot of the time.
Did you ever get up in the morning and your alarm goes off and it's 3 minutes past 8, but you always wait till 5 past? I always got to round it up till 8 or 5. I'm not getting up on a bloody odd number. I'm not stupid, am I? Think I'm mad.
Peter Kay has understood that a chat show is another great platform for him to display his comedic prowess, not only to like sell his latest project, but just to be funny.
But I believe you're about to go on tour soon.
Yeah, I am.
OK. Now, what I want to know is...
First tour in 8 years.
That's the thing. Why did you wait 8 years?
Because I don't like it.
What don't...
No, I do like it, but it's terrifying.
What's terrifying?
Standing on the stage in front of 14,000 people trying to make them laugh.
We hadn't toured for quite a long time, and there was a real sense of, like, you know, this is a big moment, this tour announcement.
I'm going back on tour. I'm doing a stand-up tour. There it is.
Our gangs will travel.
Our gangs will travel.
When Peter Kay announces a big tour, the excitement is huge. If he hasn't toured for 6 years, the amount of people, he's going to hundreds and hundreds of thousands are immediately going to buy tickets.
Fans of the comedian Peter Kay are being told they'll get a full refund after his much-awaited live arena tour was cancelled today.
Due to unforeseen family circumstances, I deeply regret that I'm having to cancel all of my upcoming work projects. My sincerest apologies. This decision has not been taken lightly, and I'm sure you'll understand my family must always come first.
He said it was due to unforeseen family circumstances, but he did not elaborate further.
More than 1 million tickets will now be refunded, while Kay himself will miss out on many millions of pounds in revenue, given that the tour was not due to finish until at this London venue in the summer of 2019. Richard Pallo, ITV News, at the O2 Arena in London.
People move on to speculating about what that might be, and no one ever got any information.
There was a very, very good reason for why he didn't do it, and it was a personal reason, and we have to respect that. However disappointing it is...
Thank you, and thank you very much.
The appearance was brief and without warning, but it was without doubt the man himself, telling the audience not to say a word about what they were about to see.
Enjoy the last ever episode of Car Show.
It's the first time Kay's been seen on stage since cancelling his tour in December, citing unexplained family reasons.
Lots of love, enjoy, take care.
Ivor Bennett, ITV News.
So, what is he going to do next? No idea.
I'm sure that he's out there somewhere inventing a whole new show of another character or something completely different to what he's already done.
He's just got such a God-given talent that, you know, it would be nice to hear some more comedy from him.
To do a run of 15 nights at the O2. So you can imagine connecting with 15,000 people.
I was there the first night at the O2 as his guest with a lot of other people, and it was just phenomenal.
Because of the quality of his output, the length of time he's been going, and his widespread popularity, I think he's the biggest star in the country.
He's the most popular comedian in the country, without doubt.
He's definitely a 10 out of 10.
Peter Kay is one of Britain's greatest ever comedians.
I hope he finally does the stand-up tour.
I hope that he goes on and continues to be prolific.
But mainly I hope there's more Peter Kay.
Peter Kay is one of the best British comics there ever been. The audience love him, and they're going to keep coming back for more. They can wait.
Tantalisingly, just when he's got the audience in a frenzy, he stops. And we have to wait. And we have to hope there'll be another series or another stand-up tour.
Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Take care. I'll see you again, maybe, one day. Thank you.